I'm breathing the fresh air. I'm in the Hollywood Hills. We're high up in Los Angeles right now. This is fantastic. We're about to meet up again with Mark and Alex. We're gonna walk through this gorgeous home. And then after this, we're gonna go and check out another property in LA that's affordable, that's reasonable, right? And on this property, I'm gonna show you how to renovate it with no cash needed upfront and turn your primary residence into an income producing asset. Walk me through today's episode. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. We are starting fresh on this channel and it's gonna be a journey. Let's do it. It's all going down. There are so many real estate events, and there are two things to understand about real estate. One is a player versus player game, right? There's no teams in real estate, regardless as to how much people say, oh, I'm part of this team, or I'm part of this, or I'm doing this. You are out here on your own. You're gonna spend 90% of your time prospecting and doing business solo. So when times get tough, people need to gather together. You need to see what other people are doing. You need to get motivated. So the real estate industry, more than most other industries, right? They're gonna have more events, more things going on, more gatherings, because people get together to share ideas, but also see how other people are doing. When you go to these events, someone will be like, yeah, I'm closing this and I'm doing this. And that makes you go, fuck, I need to step my game up. So I go to these real estate events and I speak usually about how to generate business and get things going using social media, because the aim of the game is this, right? You want to help someone get into a home, or you want to help someone get a better loan, right? Or get better terms in their financing. But at the end of the day, you can't help someone that doesn't know that you're available to help them.
What up? How's it going? Good to see you.
No time cruise, but you know I'm on a mission. Taking big moves, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
You can give a warm welcome up for Dave Buckley from Mortgage Kitchen. Yeah!
How's it going, dude?
Thanks, babe. Something to really focus on is being in tune with public sentiment. So I think the public sentiment right now is real estate agents and loan officers are trying to push us to buy because they need to get paid, right? So the key is that our goal isn't to push someone to buy. Our goal is to really help them better their lives and their financial future. So we need to figure out what the obstacles are. So I'm kind of really looking at the obstacle of affordability as the main thing. So I'm focusing on content that helps make home buying more affordable in all ways. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking the most disproportionate number and I'm making that the feature of the content.
Yes.
Something I want to teach you throughout this episode is you don't need cash to renovate a home. Today what I'm gonna do is essentially, right, I'm gonna walk you through an aspirational 3-bedroom home that you could buy in LA, because we love to look at these properties, and also we have some clients that might be interested in them. After that, we'll move to another 3-bedroom property, but this is a property that's reasonable. It's a reasonable price point. It's something that a lot of us could afford. It's about $700,000 in Los Angeles, 3-bed home, single family, fully detached. And I'm gonna show you how to go ahead and not just buy a 3-bedroom, fully detached home. At the same time, you're gonna renovate that and turn that into an income producing asset as well as your primary residence, right? So it's exciting. You know, there's so many things you can do in real estate. You just need to know the how. Man,
how are you?
I'm good, dude.
Welcome, you guys. Good, good. Come on in.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the Genliner. This is a modern contemporary home. Features 3 beds, 3.5 baths, 4,400 square feet across 3 levels, and we're listed at 6.5 mil.
As he said, it's a contemporary home. All the finishes are brand new. We have marble countertops, white oak cabinetry, cement flooring throughout, Miele appliances, and a chef's kitchen. So let's check it all out.
Let's go downstairs. One thing I love about the downstairs area is I'm a pretty private guy myself. And if you like intimate moments with friends, family, this is the place to do it. You can also kind of convert this place, if you are a musician, into a studio. So one thing that you can do is just kind of soundproof this entire space and just kind of create it your own and get some inspirations out there with that view.
How do you wake up mad, sad, angry, like?
And the most important part of this home that I absolutely love and why we call it a jetliner is the views. Come on. This right here is a multi-million-dollar view. You can see the stretch of downtown LA, all of the hills, and at nighttime, this place is spectacular.
There's this universal allure to the Hollywood Hills, and the hills aren't just a hill. What people want is that view. Why is the view such a big element? Not many people realize this, but there's something called the prospect refuge theory. Now, this theory explains that feeling that you get when you have these expansive views. Us as human beings, we like to have prospect of our surroundings whilst being in a place of refuge or safety, right? Now that gives us this ultimate feeling of connection to our environment, whilst also feeling in control and not at any risk from any of the dangers within that environment. After seeing that home in the hills, I drove about 30 minutes to an area called Linwood. So it's still in Los Angeles County, but it's a lot more affordable. The property that I went to go see with an agent and close friend of mine, Penny, on the surface, it looked very standard, right? It was newly renovated, 3 bedrooms, and they were asking about $700,000 for the property. But under the hood, it had a huge amount of potential, not only to be a decent home to live in, but double as a way for the family that goes ahead and buys that home to generate income from it. The basic plan here is we found a 1,300 square foot property on an almost 6,000 square foot lot with a large detached garage. Now there's a lot of room to play with here. So the plan was to convert the detached garage, which is a frame that's already up, and turn that into an additional unit. That means adding plumbing, a bathroom, kitchen, and living space that can be rented out to a tenant, and that rental income can offset the overall mortgage payment and turn this regular primary residence into a cash cow. Now that's all pretty standard, right? But what's not standard is I'm gonna teach you how to do all of that without needing any additional cash up front to pay for those renovations, and you don't need to take out a second loan to do that either, right? So the way that we can make this happen is by using something called a renovation loan. Now what this is essentially is if you want to buy a home, you can wrap the purchase of the home and any renovations you want to make to the home into one mortgage. That's a renovation loan. So for example, let's say you found a home that you like, but you want to remodel the kitchen and the bathrooms, and that's going to cost $50,000. Now the purchase price is about $500K. You're putting, let's say, 20% down and getting a mortgage for $400,000. Instead of needing $50,000 cash or getting a personal loan for $50,000 to get those renovations done, and you can add that $50,000 to the balance of the mortgage. So in this case, the loan balance is $450,000 now, and because the balance is added to your 30-year mortgage, you have 30 years to repay those renovations back, right? The repayment of that cash is being spread out over such a long period of time. The renovations really have minimal effect on your monthly payments. So depending on the rate, that's $200 to $350 added to your monthly payment in this scenario. So at its core, this is how it works. So I could get into the weeds about going through the nuances and the qualifications of this, but this video really is just focusing on the macro tactical application of this loan product to help you buy and renovate in a smart way. Right, so the 2 most popular renovation loans are the FHA 203K loan and the Fannie Mae Homestyle renovation loan. So the difference between them is that one of them is an FHA loan and the other one is a conventional loan. Now, I would personally usually recommend the Homestyle renovation loan if you're working with a single family home, because it gives you a lot more leniency on the type of renovation that you can make, right? So you can add maybe a swimming pool or other nice to haves by going this way instead of going for a 203K loan. Now, something that we need to factor in, regardless of the type of renovation loan you go for, you will need to go ahead and work with a licensed contractor to get this done, because as lenders, we can't just give you the cash and let you do those renovations yourself, right? It's a tightly monitored and controlled process. So let's walk through the process on this, right? So the first step is to reach out and get an idea of what you qualify for and your ballpark as far as your max loan amount. So formally, this is just called a pre-qualification. Now, the second step is to go ahead and find a property and work with a licensed contractor to put together a bid for the renovations on it. Now, essentially, that will detail what you'll need to do as part of the renovations and all of the costs involved. Now, you'll go ahead and you'll submit that with your mortgage application, and from there, you'll need to go and get the property appraised, both for its as-is value and its as-completed value, which is where the appraiser takes into account the bid for the renovations to determine the value of the home after those renovations have been completed. Providing all those numbers line up, you can go ahead and begin on those renovations, and the cash for the renovation is then essentially dispersed in stages, right? So the property receives multiple inspections along the process, and at each point, they're gonna be given some more cash to get the next stage done, right? So now we know how it works. Getting back to this property, we have a detached garage that will take about $150,000 to convert into a 1-bed, 1-bath ADU. And once all those renovations are completed, let's say you can rent this thing out for about $1,500 a month, which is fair value, right? So the purchase is about $700 $700,000, the renovation costs are $150K, and we are assuming that the after renovation value is directly proportional to the cost of the renovations. So the total cost basis is about $850,000. So let's say that you want to put about 10% down that will give you a 90% loan to value ratio. So that means that 90% of the property is purchased using a mortgage, and you walk into that property owning 10% of the equity in that home. Now, being that this property's after renovation value or as completed value is $850,000, 10% down would be $85,000, and you would have a loan of about $765,000 to cover the purchase of the home and all of the renovations. So assuming a 6% interest rate on the mortgage, your total monthly payment, including taxes and insurance, will be around $5,500 a month in California. Now, if you want to include the $1,500 in rental income to offset the mortgage, you are paying about $4,000 a month for an $850,000 property, which will give you an effective interest rate of about 2.5%. So that's the trick. That's the game changer, right? It's understanding the power of the renovation loan to save you money and make you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of your mortgage, right? So if this is something that you're interested in, I'll put some links below this video to reach out to me, and we can go ahead and walk through how you can go about getting that done. That is a wrap for episode 2. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. This is a whole journey. I'm planning to be doing this for the foreseeable future, and my goal here is to actually create genuinely valuable content around the real estate space. It's not just fancy, fluffy videos of houses here. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.